Hello, everyone. I'm Wolfman Sam here with my co-host Johnny Buff Guns, and we
Hello,
are
everyone.
Creatures of the Night. I don't know if they picked up that thunder. It is thundering.
I heard that a little bit. That's all right.
It is thundering by me, so anybody watching, the crack of thunder, it adds ambience to our Creatures of the Night. We have ambience today.
Thor is sending a message from.
Yes, it is
Asgard.
literally a dark and stormy evening over by the Sunshine State where I'm at. So, John, you want to start us off? We're covering 80s action movies. This is part 2.
Again, no particular order, but I was thinking I want to start out with this one first, Eraser, because recently director Chuck Russell passed away this past week as we are filming this podcast. Eraser, the way I would describe it is Arnold Schwarzenegger plays this like government agent kind of guy where he basically helps innocent people erase their old identities for witness protection programs and give them new identity for protection.
Mm-hmm.
And also, while that goes on, apparently there's some like there's a government corruption going on this government company called Cyrus, where they're basically illegally transporting lethal deadly weapons that are 10 times more deadly than what a regular gun does.
That's interesting.
Yes. Vanessa Williams plays the character that he protects, who has like basically like, evidence to bring down this company, what they're doing illegally. But of course, there's always the bad guys that are always getting in the way or like making up things about the person that's not true, like committing crimes, framing them for crimes they not commit.
Right.
It's really good though. It's like it makes you think a little bit like, what are the possibilities that this could happen in real life? But it's.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out. I have.
Yes, no, it's really good. I remember the first time I saw this as a little kid on television, and at first I didn't know it was an Arnold film because my first scene watching is when Vanessa Williams is home after a rough day at the office of what she was trying to do, of trying to bring down the company that she works for with their illegal stuff they're doing. And, like there's basically bad guys that are spying and trying to kill her and assassinate her. And Arnold comes in, to protect her and save her. And of course, he pretends to be like some guy with like balloons, like he's a party, and says, "Let's party."
Let's party. Yeah.
But sadly, Vanessa Williams' ex-boyfriend gets killed, shot instantly by the guns that are illegal.
Interesting.
Literally, it kills you within seconds compared to a regular gun. It's like the 44 Magnum, the most powerful handgun in the world, not so powerful anymore when you watch this movie.
I'll have to check it out for sure.
Yeah. And of course, it has some great like action sequences I love, like when the climax, when Arnold Schwarzenegger, gets shot and taken down, he bursts out with his like buff muscles, high testosterone, and uses the gun shooting the bad guys. It's just, it's awesome.
I'll definitely have to check it out.
And there's also another scene I like when he saves Vanessa Williams' character at the zoo. Just when they think they're about to be gunned down, he shoots the alligator or crocodile like glass, and that kills the bad. It's genius. It works, but a little risky though.
I'll definitely have to check it out because, like I said, there's always a couple Arnold Schwarzenegger movies I miss.
Oh, really?
So yeah. There's been a couple. So
right. It's also rare that James Gunn. This was like the rare time where James Caan was like the bad guy, and like in an action flick too.
Yeah, I always love James Caan in anything. Alien Nation.
Right.
It's great.
Right. And also, wait, what's his name too is in this. You might recognize the name when I say it out loud. Wait, I'm sorry, everyone. Let me just get notes up. Sorry, everyone. Yeah. But as usual, my grandfather would ask, "What would I do in this situation?" Again, I'm dead in 5 minutes. This is all fantasy and action.
Yep. Well, that's why we leave it to the muscle bound action heroes.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, Robert Pastorielli. I don't know if you remember this guy by any
But
chance.
I don't know if you're mispronouncing the last name, but
Yeah, I
it,
apologize for
it
that.
doesn't ring a bell to me.
Right. Right. Basically, he plays a character who's one of his people that he erased in a witness protection program. But then he
Interesting.
comes asking for help for like, hey, I need your help, like breaking
Yeah,
the
I
Cyrus.
I'll definitely have to check this out for sure.
Yes. Yeah.
Sure.
Worth a watch. And okay, I guess that was a brief on Eraser. The next movie. Do you remember the movie Last Action Hero?
I have not seen that movie in years. I have not seen that movie since I was a kid. But
Okay, I
I do remember the premise. You know,
yeah.
kid basically goes to a movie theater and the ticket is magical. He can literally
Yes.
go into the movie, which I've always remembered the concept of this movie being better than the movie itself.
Yeah.
I really wanted like it to be a sequel with other movies, and it
Right.
actually inspired a small script I was working on, but that
Right.
disappeared years ago.
Well, I didn't watch this as a kid. I saw this like later in my life, and anytime I rewatch, I'm like, okay, it's not great, but it's not as bad as like what Arnold thought because
No,
when it
no,
came out, it was a flop.
but yeah. To kind of restate the premise, it is about a kid who gets a magical ticket where he goes into his favorite action movie.
Yes.
Well, his favorite action hero. I always forget the name of the
Wait,
action
hold
hero
up.
in
Let
the
me just check.
movie, but he's played by Arnold. And
Yes.
it's your typical action movie. And I remember the soundtrack being a lot of heavy metal as well.
Right.
Megadeth
Right.
was on the soundtrack, I remember.
Right.
And I think it's a really cool and interesting movie.
It is.
And for those who haven't seen it, go check it out. Last Action Hero. It's great.
Right.
It's a pretty good movie.
This
Um,
character he plays is called Detective Jack Slater.
Jack Slater. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I mean, this is where we're probably gonna get into spoiler territory real quick. But Jack Slater, once he's pulled out of the movie, he loses all his literal plot armor.
Yes.
He's
Yes.
not able to take bullet. He becomes mortal.
Right. When he's
And
in when he's in the movie, Danny, he tells him how this is like movie, and he doesn't believe him that this is a movie that he's in, and
yeah, and there's a really funny bit where um I think it's Danny who tells him you're played by Arnold Schwarzenegger.
yes, yes, yes,
And we see a poster of Sly Stallone as the
yes, yes,
Terminator
yes,
in
yes.
Terminator 2, which
That was so
that
funny.
was such a great joke.
It
Um,
was.
it
What are you
ties into
talking about?
what
What
we
are you talking
were
about?
talking about last time with the rivalry with Sly Stallone and Arnold.
Right, because the whole point of that scene when they go to the Blockbuster, boy, back when Blockbuster existed
Yeah,
back in the day.
Blockbuster, Hollywood
Anyway,
Video.
besides my
I miss
point.
it.
Yeah, so do I every day. But anyway, here's my point I'm about to say. Basically, they thought going to the video store, he would show and prove to him, like, oh, you're Arnold Schwarzenegger, the actor. And then when he sees the fake Terminator movie poster, wait a minute, this is
No.
not true. What are you talking about? He's fantastic. It's his best performance ever.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
probably the closest you'll see a little bit of like stuff. Well, that was
What if?
before like AI and deep fakes at the time when you think about it.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, like I said, the concept of the movie, I fell in love with.
Right.
Being able to go into your favorite movie, or and
Yeah.
I loved what the villain says at the end of the what if possibilities, right? Of
Right.
bringing out all the horror movie villains, Hannibal Lecter, Freddy Krueger,
Yes, yes. It's
bunch of name
basic.
drops, and it's
It's
like
it's it's
it's
basic.
like
It's basic.
I want like this movie wants me to make the Avengers, but for horror movie villains,
Right.
like the anti Avengers, like Freddy Krueger teaming up with Michael Myers and also joining forces to wreak havoc. Like the
Right,
possibilities for this movie.
right.
Um,
It's
but
also
it is a
funny.
really good movie by itself.
It's basically like the Scream of action films, but like all the cliches and the
Oh yeah,
elements.
no, it dismantles action movies in a way, um, 80s action movies specifically,
Yeah,
in a
and
way
it's also
that
funny how like where like he points out Arnold's famous lines. "I'll be back." Ha! I bet you know I was gonna say that. You always say that. I do.
yes, I love the line. You want to be a farmer? Here's a couple of acres.
Yeah, and also there's like
Yeah,
random.
it boils down Arnold to like self parody,
Yeah,
which
pretty
God bless him
much.
for making fun of himself.
Yeah, despite when it came out, he was kind of disappointed, upset how this film didn't turn out as expected. Let me tell you, this movie's better than Junior for sure. I'd rather watch this movie over Junior any
Yeah, I
day.
mean, like I said, it at the time it didn't age well,
No,
which it's funny because it's like it's very 90s. It
right.
does the whole
Well,
dismantle the 80s action movie. But I
right.
think now it I think now it's just underrated in
Yeah,
terms of
underrated Arnold movie.
and like I said, the concept of the concept alone of having a magical ticket that can take you into any movie is just
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
surprised they never
be
really used for other movies.
be honest. When you were a kid, did you like want to like have that
I
magic
did.
ticket and be in the
I
movie?
did.
Yes.
I
Yes.
absolutely did. I
Yes.
wanted to
Because
go to that theater and go to different movies.
well, not just like the movie theater. In general, like as a kid growing up, I always used to like imagine myself. What would it be like if I jumped in and a movie that I love so much that I want to be a part of?
It depends on the movie. I mean,
Well, that's
you
true. No,
want to make
you're
sure
right.
it's
You're
the
right. It does
right
depend on the.
movie. You don't want to be
Well, this
jumping
was the
into
kind
like
of film that.
Nightmare on Elm Street and
Right.
then
Right. Well, being a kid growing up watching Arnold films, I wanted to be in his movies, being his sidekick.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it really fulfills that fantasy, I think, because especially as a kid growing up, I've always been more of a Stallone
Right.
man,
Fair enough. Fair
but
enough.
um, as a kid growing up, I always wanted to do that action movie fantasy.
Yeah.
I was that kid thinking of either movies that Arnold or Sly, should have starred in, or maybe me
Right.
as the action movie hero. So I
Right.
saw that at the right time, right age, and I fell in love with it because it fulfilled
Right.
my fantasy.
Right. Well, like I said, I always remember knowing about this film. But like I said, I saw this like way later, like maybe when I was like a teenager, I think. But again, don't
Oh
quote
wow,
me
you
on
saw
it.
this way later. No, I
Yeah,
saw
I
this
did.
when I
No,
was
I saw
like
this later.
I
Yeah,
saw this when
despite
I was like 8.
okay, that's I understand.
Maybe 7,
Right.
somewhere
Right. I
around
guess
there.
you could say this was just an Arnold film I never got around to until later in my life.
That's okay. It's funny. A lot of famous films, usually I end up getting around to later in life too.
Right.
Um,
Right.
especially
And
when it comes to
also for
Arnold stuff.
and to nostalgia critic, yes, Robert Prosky was in this film, but he was the projectionist, and your cousin in the fake movie within the movie was played by none other than Art Carney, who you all might recognize from The Honeymooners.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
it's so it's so funny. Like the references. Like I said, I'm gonna have to go back and I'm gonna have to rewatch it.
Right.
Um, one thing I like I said, one thing I do remember is some of the one-liners, the
Right.
soundtrack, of course,
Right.
and the villain. Can we talk a little bit about the villain
Yeah, well, he's
in this
basically
movie?
there a parody of like the typical villain. He's like a greedy businessman boss, and also Arnold Schwarzenegger's character had a partner who they haven't been partners in years, but of course he was a traitor.
Right, typical
Right.
80s action movie kind of
Yeah,
thing.
90s, 80s action.
I love the actor that they got to play the villain. I always forget his name.
I'm sorry, what were you saying before about the villain?
But what was the actor's name? Do you remember?
Let's see. I know he was played by. He's actually a very big, famous actor. He was on Game of Thrones. Charles Dance.
Right, right. Yeah, he was great. He was
Yeah, he
great.
was. He was. And also, on a side note, they had like cameos of like past Arnold films at the time, like Robert Patrick, the T-1000 Terminator 2 makes a cameo, and
Yes.
Sharon Stone parroting her famous Basic Instinct, despite Arnold was not in that film, but I guess that was the point, though. Just
Yeah, like I said, it kind of was making fun of everything 80s action movie
yes,
adjacent.
yes,
Um,
yes. Danny DeVito as the voice of the tiger cartoon.
right,
Yeah,
exactly.
my initial thought was, were they like going for a little brief parody of Who Framed Roger Rabbit, but different?
Maybe,
Right,
possibly.
maybe. Yeah. And Ian McKellen, Magneto, plays Death. This is a parody
Oh,
to,
that's
again,
right. Yes, yes.
they always have to pay tribute to old Hollywood. This is a tribute to Ingmar Bergman's The Seventh Seal.
Right, right.
Yeah.
And he was really cool. That I do remember as a kid.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. And Angie Everhart plays the hot store video store clerk.
yeah, yeah. Like
because
I said, I definitely need to go back and I definitely need to go back and watch this film for sure.
right, but again, I don't mean to
It's been a
sound
long time, folks.
again, I don't mean to sound like this. The kid points out about how, like, wait a minute, you're too beautiful to work in this video store.
Well, I don't know, man. I've had
Sorry, guys. Sorry, everybody.
some hot clerks.
Yeah. Maybe she's not supposed to be there today.
Yeah, yeah. Clerks, the more adult version. You know,
Yeah, exactly.
it's a little try hard,
Right.
but yeah,
All right. I guess.
you want to move on to the next movie we're talking about?
Yes, we can move on to the next movie. Did you ever see True Lies?
I did not see True Lies.
Oh man, you're striking out so far, buddy.
I know. I need to brush up on my Arnold.
Right. No, True
That's
Lies.
why I said at the beginning of this podcast, you handle the Arnold, I'll
Right.
handle the Sly Stallone
Right.
and
No, I
Last
can talk
Action
about
Hero.
Stallone's too, and yeah, no, True Lies is very good. This is how I would describe it. Imagine if like James Bond was a married man, but he basically has a double life. He lies to his wife and child that he's a salesman, but he's not. He's basically a secret
Right.
agent. Yeah. Because
Interesting.
let me tell you, how many James Bond movies are there where he's married?
None that I can think of.
Exactly. That's my point there. So that's the point of describing this movie. If James Bond was married, had a child, but unfortunately, it's probably not a balanced life for him. Is the way I describe his career in the CIA or whatever he does for the government.
Right.
Yeah, and especially how like when James, like Arnold, played the typical spy and CIA secret government agent who has to, pretend that he's, like what's again. I apologize, or I don't know why my
Pretend
brain
that
is
he's
not
like James
fried.
Bond or living a double life.
Yes,
Am I
lying
putting
to
it?
his wife and his daughter. Like it opens up where he's like, on a secret mission where he's at this like, fancy party pretending that he's like one of them, but he's not.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
I'll have to check it out for
Yeah.
sure.
This is the one that has Tia Carrera in it.
Okay.
Right. But
Okay.
she's
I
not
know.
just Sandra.
Yeah, and she can be a little bit of a mixed bag. She's hot as pie
Yes.
food, but she can be a
But
little bit of a mixed
she's a
bag
bad,
in the
she's
acting
a
department.
bad girl in this movie.
Yes. Um, but yeah,
Well, hold
I'll
on.
have
I
to
do
check
have
it
a
out
few
for
other
sure.
comments to say about it. While that happens in the movie, there's a little bit of a miscommunication, misunderstanding where Arnold thinks that his wife, played by Jamie Lee Curtis, is having an affair with Bill Paxton's character, but Bill Paxton plays a typical womanizer asshole who's basically just after getting her pants.
That's not a big stretch for Mr. Bill Paxton. Now
Right,
I have to
and they
ask you. I'll have to ask an obvious spoiler because it is
what's
Bill
that?
Paxton. May Bill Paxton actually rest in peace. But does Bill Paxton die in this movie?
No, he doesn't.
He
No.
doesn't die.
No,
Wow.
he doesn't. But here's my point, though. There's, like I said, the misunderstanding with the affair. They kidnap him and scare him, and he says, "I'm not a spy," but he goes, "I'm a coward." He pees
This
his pants when he sees a gun.
this might be the one few movies where he doesn't die. Like, because I feel
No,
like a lot of his
right.
movies he ends up dying.
Well, because he's the only actor to be killed by Predator, Terminator, and the aliens.
Predator, Terminator, Alien, a
No, in this one,
vampire.
no, he's a complete. When you watch this, you're gonna laugh out loud, like, "Oh my god, this guy's a pansy and a coward."
Yeah, he's good at playing that. He was good at playing that. May he rest
Right,
in
right.
peace.
Yes, definitely,
And he's
and
always
also
been actually
because
one of my favorite actors. So many different
yes.
characters.
Yes, because also they basically when Arnold kidnaps his wife, not knowing that it's him, she basically plays the typical like woman where like she lives a mediocre life and she wants more out of life,
Hmm.
and Arnold like basically gives her like an assignment to do, and little does she know that it was Arnold that was in the room where she was trying to give her a little little spicy moment to
A
spice up
real
their marriage.
spicy moment.
Yes, and then they're kidnapped by the real bad guys, the terrorists, and there's a moment there's like she basically finds out the truth about who he really is.
Right.
Yes. There's a
Interesting.
scene there's a scene where he's given truth serum and asks like all these questions about he'll tell the truth. She asks, are we gonna die? Yup. Did you
Honest.
kill people? Yeah. Did you kill people? Yeah, but they were all bad.
Very Arnold line.
Oh, yeah,
They're
definitely.
all
But
bad.
it's true. He kills people, but they're only bad people. That's okay. Only
Yeah,
very
that's all
bad
right.
people.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Desperate.
And again,
Death
some more cool.
wish rules.
Yes, and again, some other cool action scenes I like where he fights one of the terrorists at a hotel. No, not a hotel, at the mall. Again, there's always seems to be a mall fight scene. Again, sorry, that's my sister's dog. Everybody.
That's all right. Between my lightning, thunderstorm, and your dogs, we're good.
Right.
But
Right.
magic of editing.
Yes, and of course, also there's a cool action scene where it's funny though. Like again, don't overthink this when you see Jamie Lee Curtis. At first, she's using the gun, but then she accidentally dropped it, and for somehow it's dropping on the stairs, and it's still going despite there's no one pulling the trigger, and it's still
It's
killed the
like a
bad guys.
slinky. Like
What's that?
it's like a slinky of death.
Right. All
Okay.
right. I guess again on a short notice, just go check out True Lies. Excellent '90s action
Absolutely.
flick.
We'll
Yes.
definitely put that on my movie list. Probably for
Yes.
this week.
Yes. And
Um.
again, like my grandfather said, what would I do? I'm like, I'm dead in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
That's all fantasy.
Dead in 5 minutes. Uh. But
Yeah.
uh. But I guess onward to Demolition Man then.
Actually, on a quick brief note, do you remember End of Days with Arnold?
I do. I remember that movie being terrible.
Yeah, but you can make the argument maybe it's somewhat aged a little bit better than people remember to some, but I don't. It grows on you after a while.
Again, I have to rewatch that movie. It's been a while. It's been a hot minute.
Right.
For
It's
those that
basically
don't know, End of Days, basically what happens when Arnold faces the devil.
right. Pretty much. It's especially how it's also like a typical the Millennium and Y2K.
Yeah, yeah, that was this is End of Days, Y2K.
Yeah,
I remember
exactly.
Mad TV. Mad TV also made fun of it.
Oh, really? I think I never saw
Will
that.
Sasso actually played Arnold.
I remember that though, but I don't remember him.
Yeah.
I've
You
never
have
seen
to
Will
have to
Sasso
watch that
parody
movie End
Arnold.
of Days, where I killed my evil clone. Um, but
Because around this time, this was like basically Arnold's first film in 2 years after Batman and Robin, because he had heart surgery and went through tragedy at the time of his mother's passing, and this is before he also became governor of California at the time too.
yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, obviously.
But
Yeah.
yeah, End of Days. Like, is there anything really memorable about End of Days? Do you want to get into End of
But
Days?
the only thing that's memorable about is that he plays a typical like cop who lost his wife and child, and he's basically an atheist, and yet he has to protect the woman who is basically like the typical like antichrist where
Right,
Satan
giving birth to
will
the
pregnant.
Antichrist. Yeah.
Yeah, basically Satan will impregnate her and in the new millennium, so that way there's a new like child, the devil's son. Yeah, typical. We've seen it
Yeah,
done better.
I feel like this movie kind of writes itself too.
Yeah, it's
You know, it's
basically like yeah, I've seen this done better. The Omen, The Exorcist,
yeah,
Rosemary's Baby, better.
Rosemary Baby. I think yeah. Trying to
Yeah.
remember what. There's been a lot of movies that
Yeah,
have done the
but
trick.
again, I'll take Last Action Hero, End of Days over Junior any day.
Yes, let us
Yeah,
forget about Junior.
yeah. If everyone thought that those movies were bad, those movies are Citizen Kane compared to Junior when Arnold played a pregnant man.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
surprisingly relevant today, but let's not go there.
Yeah, but despite that, I'm not the one for reboots. But for some reason, I could see this movie being remade because before what the movie was, they wanted Sam Raimi or Guillermo del Toro to direct it, which that could have been a good choice right there for this kind of
Make it
movie.
a horror film.
Yes, well, it is a horror film.
Well, unintentionally. Let's.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
If they had directed, they definitely could have been good choices directing a horror film like this about like the Millennium, Y2K, and
Oh, you're talking about
Satanism.
End of Days. I thought you were talking
Yes,
about
end of days.
Genius.
Yes.
I
No,
thought you were
not
talking about
no, no. I'm talking. So let's
End of
let me
Days. You're
refresh.
talking about End
Yeah,
of
End
Days.
of Days could have been a better film directed by one of those two, Del Toro or Sam Raimi.
Absolutely, absolutely. Someone that understood monsters, different
Yes,
directions. You know.
absolutely.
Yeah.
But it could still happen if they remake this. I could see one of those two guys remaking this and a little bit better too.
Yeah. I mean, it's halfway to being like a Constantine movie, anyway.
Pretty much, yeah. That's a good way to put it. At
Yeah. I
I
mean,
did see Constantine, but years ago.
well, I actually really do love Constantine. I know it's not the most comic book accurate, but
Yeah.
I actually really do love Keanu's performance.
Right. I'll revisit it again. It's been years
Yeah,
since I saw it.
it's definitely a revisit, second
Yeah.
look.
Right.
Plus, Peter Stormare is one of the creepiest versions of Satan I've ever seen.
Right. Gotcha. I'll have to rewatch it again. Can't make
Yeah,
a comment right now.
we got a bunch of stuff to rewatch. All right,
Okay, now we can move on.
all right. I guess we'll move on to Demolition Man because you wanted to talk about Demolition Man. I mean,
Yes. Yes.
Demolition Man, I think is probably, well, I wouldn't say it's underrated now. It's more prescient now, but
Right.
at
Yes.
the time, it wasn't received very well. It
No.
kind of does what Last Action Hero kind of does, but in a much more serious light. Um,
Yeah.
uh, a Sly Stallone character is your typical action movie, and the reason why they call him the Demolition Man is because he blows shit up everywhere he goes.
Pretty
Um,
much.
yeah, and Wesley Snipes is Simon Phoenix, which his
Phoenix.
performance, yes, his performance is great. I love how over the
Yeah.
top he is. He's your typical
Yes.
like mad villain.
Right. Well,
But
like when I first showed this to my dad, he gave it a good point about his performance as Simon Phoenix. He's kind of like a little bit like Joker, a little bit, and basically,
yeah, kind of like Joker mixed with a mad scientist, kind of.
yeah, yeah, and
But
also like when he wakes up in the future, he's basically like bored because crime is easier for him to commit than it was in the
well,
past.
I'm getting to that. When they were both,
I'm sorry.
frozen because of their crimes, they're basically frozen into like the future, which everything is super sanitized. There's no violence.
No.
You could actually be fined for swearing, which I find really funny.
Yeah.
Um, uh,
And the three shells.
we're never given an answer on how to use the three she shells. It's got
No,
to be
we never
painful.
are.
It's got to be really painful. But yeah,
If
that's
somebody
that.
asked me what the point of this was, I have no idea. I couldn't give you an answer to that
For
question.
those that don't know, it's supposedly how they go in the bathroom in the future, and everything is owned by either Taco Bell, Pizza Hut. Like all the food chains are giant corporations. It's
Yeah,
like it's the future in Demolition Man is like Judge Dredd meets Idiocracy.
right. I never
Kind
saw Idiocracy or Judge
kind of.
Dredd.
If For those who've seen Idiocracy, you would know what I'm talking
Never
about.
saw it.
But it's like everything is super politically correct. Sounds familiar.
Yes.
Super politically correct. All the men are super feminine,
Yes.
very polite. And here comes
Yes.
John Matrix not John Matrix, Sly Stallone's character. I forget his
John
name.
Spartan.
Oh, John Spartan is his name
Yes,
in the
that's
movie.
his name.
John Spartan, and he is a '80s action movie hero, and he
Yes.
smokes, he
He
curses,
basically
he
like
actually
wakes up.
uses the fines as toilet paper. And
Yeah, which I
isn't
thought was funny.
isn't
Yeah.
Rob Schneider in the movie as
Yes,
well?
very, very briefly for like a few seconds. It just
Yeah,
plays a
it's
typical like
it's super
secretary.
super underrated. And like I said, very prescient. And I do love Brooke Shields' character of being
Sandra Bullock.
Sandra Bullock. Yeah, sorry. Why did I
Yeah.
say it was Brooke Shields?
Yeah.
Sandra
She
Bullock.
she basically like wants excitement in her life, and she, despite being a cop, but there's basically life is boring for her as a cop.
Yeah, like everything is super sanitized. There's no crime, uh,
No,
and um, and she longs for the days of just masculine men,
yeah,
of
but
just
it's
like
also
super
funny how
80s
like
action movie.
she doesn't know how to say like the typical one-liners, and Stallone cat like corrects her like
Yep, yeah, yeah. She always mixes up the one-liners.
yes.
It's very, very cute.
And I guess also because of the future, no sex or bodily fluids. You have to use like some kind of like
Yeah, that freaks me out because
a little bit,
I guarantee Google or Meta or somebody's working on it. So
right?
I like we're there. We're heading there. That
Right. I know
unfortunately
that's what's so funny about this film. You look at it like, oh my god, this film like aged like fine wine. It was
it
so ahead of
really
its
did in
time.
terms of the concepts that it portrays, which is a overly politically correct, super sanitized world.
Yeah. No
Um,
crime and
no crime, and
and
those that
and
are
no fast food chains except for Taco Bell or Pizza
Taco Bell
Hut,
or
and
Pizza Hut.
no
Yeah,
smoking. Well, which
no
I could see that
smoking,
being
no
banned.
swearing.
Right.
This and Escape from LA really predicted a unsettling
Right.
future that we're
And as someone who loves
hurtling
John,
towards.
not to get off topic, as someone who loves John Carpenter and Escape from New York, I have not seen Escape from LA yet, but that's a
You
different
need to.
story.
You need
Right.
to. That's kind of the other half of this movie. The
Right.
Demolition Man is more comedic.
Yeah, it has its moments of seriousness at times,
Yeah,
and
it's more comedic in tone and more. I wouldn't say lighthearted because there is death.
no, no.
There is death. There's a lot of
Well,
death.
especially there's definitely the typical like where like despite trying to make a better world, but there's definitely the corruption behind who's the like the leader of like the
Yeah, and
politician and
it kind of answers the question of like the world kind of needs to be like politically incorrect to kind of
yeah,
for people to coexist because the people that are like just want to be people, they're actually drove underground as well.
right,
Dennis
yeah.
Leary and all the yeah.
They're really not the bad people they think they are.
No, they just want to
No,
live their lives, but
freedom of
they're
speech.
shunned out of this super sanitized utopia
Yeah.
because
Dennis Leary like plays, like if he was doing like one of his stand-up routines about like, I want
I
freedom of
love
speech, I
his
want to smoke
brand.
Cuban cigars, I want to dance naked in the streets, I want to eat high
I
cholesterol.
want American cheeseburger with the styrofoam.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like he is the voice of every guy
Reason.
that just wants to live, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Doesn't want to be told how to live.
Right.
Um,
And also, this would make you really upset knowing you, Mr. Music Man. No heavy metal music because they listen to some kind of kids artsy music when they're in the car about to stop inside
Yeah,
the
and
Phoenix.
it's funny. Yeah, all the music is sanitized as well.
Yeah.
Um, I'm surprised they don't listen to like country or
No.
techno. You know,
Right.
I feel like if they were to have music, it would be like kids music, but and the more adult music would be like
Right.
techno,
Well,
just
it's
more.
funny when Stallone listens to the music, he's like, "Someone put me back in the fridge."
Yeah, yeah, no, yeah. We
Oh
need
yeah,
more
another thing
rock.
too, like no like manly handshakes, and again because of what we went through with COVID, we couldn't like we had a social distance, and we couldn't shake hands or whatever we couldn't do
Right, they
for
even
like
had
contact,
their own greeting, which is what was it? Be well,
something like that. I
be
forget.
well,
Or if
which
you
is
have a
funny because
problem,
like what do people say now
I forget.
when you walk
Well,
into a shop? Welcome in.
right.
It's just like
Well, or
it's
especially like when Wesley Snipes is at the at the museum, and they're like, "Excuse me, sir, do you have a problem with your bargle or something like that?" Sorry if I'm not saying it right, but
yeah, boggle or yeah.
something like that. And what's funny is one of those security guards was played by, and knowing me, Mr. Halloween Man, Michael Myers. One of them is the Michael Myers stuntman.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, like I
Yeah.
said, I definitely need to go back and watch that movie.
I
Um,
rewatched. Well, I definitely watched this one a few times growing up when I was a kid. But again, now it's like you watch, you're like, oh my god, who knew?
yeah, I do love that the opening scene where
Yeah,
explosions and fires everywhere.
right.
Where is John Spartan? Hollywood.
Yeah.
Hollywood is burning.
Well,
like,
espe-
like
well,
it's
especially
like it's like, excuse me. It's like you need a little. There's a little bit more. I need a little bit more sigh in my science fiction, please.
right.
My
You just oh,
action movies are bleeding into my real life.
right. Well, it opens up in just regular the current time at the time in the '90s, and that was also during the LA riots at the time too.
Right, right,
Yeah.
and you lo and behold, history kind of repeated itself.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. And like
Unfortunately.
when what's his name? Simon Phoenix like framed John Spartan for a crime he did not commit is how he ended up being cryogenically frozen for his crime. But
Yeah, and like I said, it's super underrated. I think
yeah,
in
yeah.
terms of
But like I said, Snipes
blunt
plays Bill.
photography.
Wesley Snipes plays a villain where it's like he's in the future. He's bored. He's like everything's too easy to commit crimes than it was back in his day.
Right, right, and he's
Yeah.
super smart given the
Yeah.
skills he's given too.
Yeah.
And
Well,
what
especially.
is I and for some reason, Spartan knows how to knit because the skills he was given in the chamber.
Well, again, it goes back to like masculinity or something. He's like trying not to
Yeah,
be
it's
too.
it's trying to like feminize the masculine.
Yeah, yeah, and
Hero.
also because he's in the future. Like, what were his hobbies before then? I don't know. Maybe I guess knitting just became a hobby he did because again, what else
He
can
was a
he
gun
do?
broker.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, maybe I guess you could say he was the kind of gun that went to like the gun range or something, the gun shoot
Yeah,
shooting
it's like
range.
like yeah, it's something like that.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
fixing
Again, don't
cars.
overthink it. Maybe, yeah, possibly. Whereas Sandra Bullock's character, her hobby is like the 21st century, and it's funny that relates to now because people are so obsessed with like 80s and 90s
Yeah,
culture.
yeah, and
Yeah,
it's super funny, but it
yeah,
really
but I
goes into unfortunately
right,
how close we are to Demolition Man
yeah,
in
but I
terms of
have a
our
confession
culture.
to make about this podcast of talking about Demolition Man.
Yeah, but what's your confession?
My confession is, in all the years I've been alive in my life, and this movie again, we mentioned Taco Bell, how like Taco Bell won the franchise thing, whatever, in the movie. I've
Right.
never had Taco Bell in my life.
Never had to talk about. Well, you're not
Nope.
missing much, especially considering the recent breakout of the lettuce thing. I don't know if you caught that. People people
Sorry,
have
that was a spam.
this parasite roaming around, and
Yeah.
people are having shocker of shockers, but it is Taco Bell.
Yes.
They're
Yes.
having severe cases of brown note, putting it mildly.
Yes. I know. People are always like surprised when I tell that to people, like how sacrilegious that I've never had Taco Bell in my
You're not
life.
miss. It's not that good, man. Like
I
honestly,
believe it.
maybe hot take here. I'm sure there's people that are like screw you, Wolfman Sam. I love Taco Bell. But I'd rather just go to a regular
Or
Mexican.
maybe
Uh,
I'll get a lot of maybe I'll get a lot of comments like, "Oh,
just
I'll take you
just
out to Taco Bell."
just a wall of hate comments. You're like, how dare
Right.
you? Blah blah blah. I love
Yeah,
Taco
when
Bell.
they yeah, when if I do get a chance to ever have Taco Bell in my life, I'll be running to the toilet fast.
Yeah, yeah. Well, there's a reason why I wrote a heavy metal song called Taco Hell. That's a tribute to the after effects of Taco Bell.
Right.
Um, yeah,
Right.
but anyway, not to
Yeah.
get off sidetrack. Is there anything else you want to talk about, movie
Well,
wise?
I also like love it like when they fight each other again. They're saying their puns and their one-liners and
Yeah, like I said, going
or
back to Demolition Man. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, like also especially like when the finale when they fight each other, he remembers like what Simon said to him before they're frozen, cryogenically frozen. Is it cold in here, or is it just me? Good
Heads up.
memory.
Yeah.
Because he was trying to because before like he was trying to stop him from like unfreezing like the most deadly criminals who were frozen for years and oh god. And again, this one definitely would not fly today when he says Jeffrey Dahmer. I love that man. Oh
Yeah, yeah,
god.
yeah.
But at that time, that was before Dahmer was killed in prison. But still,
Right, right, right.
yeah,
Yeah,
I know. Again, just one of those lines I would not get away with today.
yeah. Like I said, it's one of those movies. I think in terms of what it says about culture and the
Yeah,
station of culture, it's up there with Idiocracy. It's up there with Escape from New York, Escape from
right,
L.A. specifically.
right.
Um,
but before moving on again, what is the point of the three shells? I have no idea.
and I think we'll never know.
We never will know. If someone really knows the theories behind it, please let me know in the comments. I'm
Yes,
all
yeah,
ears.
please, please. I'm sure somebody's got like comic book lore behind the scenes or
Oh
something.
yeah. Oh
Something.
yeah.
It's probably really gross. Probably really gross.
Probably is. Probably is.
Probably TMI.
Right.
Anyway,
All right. I guess we can move on to what do you want to move on next with Stallone?
Stallone. Is there any other movie we didn't really cover?
Like Cliffhanger, for instance.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you cover Cliffhanger because it's been a while since I've seen
Okay,
it.
and I actually again, this is one I saw this late. It's like, did you not see this one by Stallone? I'm human. I can't
I've
see
I've
everything.
I've seen it, but it's been so long. I think the last time I
Well,
saw it was I was like a teenager.
right. Well, I always read about this as one of Stallone's like best films outside of like Rambo and Rocky, where he plays like a guy who he's basically like a rescuer who basically like climbs mountains and stuff. And the movie opens up where there was like an accident where his best friend's girlfriend accidentally died from a rescue mission. And about almost a year comes later, like he left the force and there's some basically like, beef and estrangement between him and his best friend because of what happened to his girlfriend.
Right,
And while
right,
this happens, there was a fake rescue call by these terrorists who were basically like, trying to like find the money that they lost.
right. It's
Yeah.
it's and I seem to remember. Doesn't Stallone actually have a fear of heights?
Not really. It's not that he has a fear of heights. It's just he's afraid of like, what if like the same thing would happen like the from the opening scene when one of his
Like
best
for
friend's
real? Yeah.
girlfriend
No,
died.
that's. I mean,
Yeah,
that's logical.
yeah.
Um.
No, it's not that he was afraid of heights. Just the fear of like, what if this will happen again, where I failed to save someone's life.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
because
It-
when this happens, Michael Rooker played the friend who is his girlfriend who accidentally died in an accident during a rescue
right.
mission, and but even though like while trying to save him again, like I said, there's beef and there's tension between the two because of what happened. How puts a lot of blame on him. Stallone puts a lot of blame on himself for the accidental death
Yeah.
of his friend's girlfriend.
From what I remember, it's a great movie.
Yes, very good.
I have not seen it in a long, long time. It's been a while, but I seem
Definitely.
to remember it probably being one of, um, I wouldn't say it's a drama, but probably one of Stallone's best dramatic roles.
It has like the drama moments, like how when he comes back to like see some familiar faces he hasn't seen since the accident, and they think he's a coward for leaving the fort, that kind of thing, kind of cliched.
Mhm.
Yeah,
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 yeah. I mean, it really is an interesting film.
yeah.
It's like I said,
John Lithgow plays the villain of the movie.
right, right.
Yeah.
And for those of you that haven't seen it, definitely see it. I think they remade it, but
Did they? I don't know. I didn't
I
hear about
think
that. I'll
I
pass.
think
I'll stick with
yeah,
Stallone.
yeah. Stick with the original. What year
Yeah.
was that? That was
Not 1993.
93, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
And also, you might recognize Leon from Cool Runnings, but this time
oh, that's
he's not.
right. That's right. That's right.
He's not the Leon. He's not the DeReese. He's not DeReese this time. He's very mean in this movie.
Go figure. Go figure.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. No, it was a good movie. I enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun when I saw this, but thank God I don't. Well, even though I do live near sort of somewhere of mountains, but no, I'll pass
Yeah,
on
I
watching
have a
my.
fear of heights, so
So do I. So do
so I
I.
won't be cliff jumping, cliff hanging, won't
No,
be doing
no,
any
me
of that stuff
neither. No, I'll
for
be
sure.
okay.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I think that's like the only two good ones of the '90s were still I could think of. And then there was like the Specialists and Assassins, which they were okay, but nothing really
Yeah,
feels like.
I've always loved Judge Dredd.
I'll let you take care of that one. I've never
Yeah,
seen it.
I mean Judge Dredd is pretty comic book accurate to the character. It's basically what would happen if Stallone was kind of a, and I don't want to say fascist cop, but yeah, he's basically judge, jury, and executioner,
Right.
and I'm condensing the movie, so and these are kind of comments for people who have seen it. I'm talking about Judge Dredd. I believe it was
95.
1995.
Yes.
And yeah, he basically, discovers kind of a corrupt underbelly of his own organization, and there's another judge that wants him dead, and it basically is kind of have to uncover the mystery surrounding it. So that's kind of kind of condensed. I don't remember a lot of the like significant plot points from it. Like I said, it's been a while, but that movie is always kind of stuck in my mind. It's probably one of Stallone's most underrated flicks. I know it
Yeah.
kind of gets a bad rep nowadays because people like the Dread movie, the spiritual sequel.
Right.
But for me, I love the original. I love how true is the comic it
Right.
is. And it's a really really cool like sci-fi kind of movie if you haven't seen it. But like I
Right.
said, this is for people who have seen it.
Well, I'll give it a go at some point. This one I cannot make a
Absolutely,
comment on. So yeah.
absolutely. It does have its goofy moments because Rob Schneider is also in it. So
Right.
he kind of throws it a little off its axis, but it stays pretty true to the action oriented
Right.
kind of thing. It's a lot of
Gotcha.
fun. It's a lot of fun.
I'll give it a go.
All right. Well, do you want to end this
Um.
here?
Yeah, there's not much else I have to say about with like I think we covered the basic necessities of Stallone and Arnold film of the '90s. Like I said, like even though they did other stuff with Arnold, Kindergarten Cop and Stallone, Copland and Oscar. But again, Oscar was a bad cop, didn't do well, whereas Copland was a drama, not really an action film. Good movie,
Right.
but has nothing to do with action movies.
Right. Right. All right. Well, with that said, I've been Wolfman Sam here with Johnny Buff Guns. We've been Creatures of the Night, and we'll see you guys next time.
See y'all next time.